to the Good Old Days podcast. This is Leah Byers, and today I have my husband joining us, Tim Byers.
Yep, that's me.
And we're going to be talking about Christmas stories.
Yeah, the best kind of stories. I feel like that every family does it different. You know? We were watching what really inspired this is we were watching the Santa Claus this past weekend with Tim Allen, which there's like a lot to go into with that movie, but how we got into with this of just like the whole idea of like Santa Claus, like how do you get on the same page? Like sometimes kids are like smarter than others, and like I'm already diving into things. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, where are you going?
Well, like now I'm starting going. I can't stop. But yesterday I was on a bus with like a bunch of students for my work, and they were talking about how they never did Santa Claus because at like the age of 2, the oldest sister was like afraid of the fact that a man came down the chimney to like give them gifts or something. You think about it. So then her parents were just like, yeah, no, never mind, Santa Claus isn't real.
Oh, so she was like scared.
Spoiler alert. Hopefully there's no kids.
Yeah, don't
like
let your kids listen to this.
13. We'll put a little, I don't know, insert that in at the beginning. But yeah, I feel like it's crazy. Like everyone does it different, has their own reasons. So it's like, how do you get on the same train as a parent on like how to talk about Santa and Christmas and traditions?
We were thinking we'll just like start making up things and then, just go along with
but you have to remember, like, did I say that? Oh yeah, he does turn into Jello and go down the chimney.
That's how
I don't know, like, what is there like a base
at the bottom of the chimney?
Is there like a base I guess Santa
it's
canon?
like the normal Santa stories. It doesn't have to be you don't have to start making things up all of a sudden.
I want my kid to be smart, but I don't want them to be like critical smart. Yeah.
Yeah, not that smart.
I want them to ask questions I don't know how to answer.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, today we're wearing our Christmas sweaters. We thought we'd be a little festive, so if you're watching the video, you'll see that. Tim's wearing...
It's this
Super Santa,
and it's Santa dressed up as essentially, probably more so
Pixelated.
Mario dressed up as Santa.
That's not
going
Mario.
Down. But like, would you say
it's
this
just
is
a
Santa dressed up?
Game Santa.
But like, it's got the nose and everything, and his fist.
He's doing the
Mario
jump.
Go down the pipe, which is a chimney.
Oh, I guess I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's cool.
That makes sense. Nice.
What are you wearing?
Nerd. I said nerd and I'm about to say mine, which is worse. Mine has sloths on it climbing a Christmas tree. I used to be obsessed with sloths, and let me say, when you tell everybody that, all of a sudden you start getting every possible sloth gift. So I have sloth socks. I have a bunch of stuffed animals. I even have like a sloth stuffed animal, like, what's it called? It's like a warmer. Like you put it in the microwave and you can like warm, I don't know, your back. Yeah. I like how we both said that.
Yeah. I feel like we started decorating the tree. Also on Saturday, ornaments. And there's like 2 or 3 sloth ornaments.
There's like 5.
Just like,
you only saw a little bit of them.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot.
Why do we have so many? Let the cats play with that one. Shout out to the cats getting in their surgery today.
Yeah. We just dropped our cats off to get spayed, and they were very mad that they couldn't eat all last night and this morning.
Yeah.
You could see it in their face.
Hangry,
and they're going to hate us at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it was nice going home and not having to worry about them going into our room and knocking over our tree. So that was a plus. We have 2 trees. We have a fake tree that is in the living room so the cats don't destroy a real one. And then we have the real one in our room that's like shoved in the corner, and it is not
lopsided.
Yeah, it's a
It's not quite the Charlie Brown tree, but it's maybe like
isn't the Charlie Brown tree like a wonky tree?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's pretty full, but it's sideways.
Yeah.
And it's got kind of just random ornaments. We're kind of a random ornament. We're a random ornament family. Well, because
growing up,
what did you have? Does your tree have does your family's tree have specific ornaments or?
Yeah. So growing up, and maybe this starts getting into some Christmas stories. I didn't submit this, but
we're talking about it. You didn't need to submit anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why did you say that?
It's stupid. Why did I do that? But so what we did is my parents, in their like premarital counseling, their counselor said that you want to start like a tradition that, like, for your family, like start a tradition that you do every year or whatever. And that, like, will unify you. It unifies your family. It kind of establishes
They literally
generation.
made up a tradition.
So
kind
we
of
call
like
it
a holiday.
Yeah.
Literally.
So we call it December Day, and it's supposed to really, I mean, in my mind, it's always December 1st, but it's like never December 1st, but it's basically the first Sunday of December or Saturday.
We're having it this Saturday.
Yeah.
That's this Saturday. And we're having Armenian breakfast.
Yeah, I'm Armenian, so we do that.
You combined them.
The food
Wait,
is
no, that's not the
okay.
same day, right?
No, that's different.
But we
it's a
combined
different
it.
thing. Yeah, a lot of Christmas traditions.
Tim doesn't
here.
even like Armenian food.
It's just raw
He's a
food.
fake Armenian.
It's scary.
He literally will be like, ew, as we're eating.
Yeah, I'm just there for the pita and hummus.
Yeah,
and that's not even like an Armenian staple. Like
and
that's like pretty generic.
Yeah, that's pretty generic. That's just like Mediterranean.
So anyways, they started this thing called December Day, and it started primarily with like my parents, and then they'd invite friends, and it's essentially kind of like they would just think of like a word that inspires like hope for the season, right? So it would be like hope. I don't know. Or grace, or, truth, or free. I don't think those are any of the ones that they've ever done, at least maybe besides hope.
Those are pretty basic.
But usually it ties into some sort of key theme or message of inspiration that we would just kind of go into this Christmas season trying to like slow down and reflect on, I don't know, that theme. So with that, when we were kids, we had friends, which some of these friends actually submitted their Christmas traditions for the podcast, but they would do a holiday boutique, and they would basically the whole house, like the kitchen, the living room, the dining room, the whole house. Every room had some sort of ornament or decoration or flag or whatever that you could use. Yeah, well, purchase. And like just for that holiday season. And they would always have, we would call it puppy chow. Is that what? But I don't think it's like Muddy Buddies. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if
Somehow I knew that was the same thing. I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know if puppy chow is like the canon name for it.
I think it's Muddy Buddies. Or no, something like mix, like I don't know.
Powder pretzels.
Yeah,
but it's good. But yeah, so there would be stuff like that. So anyways, we would always go as kids and pick out like an ornament. And so, long story short, we went there. I always loved snowmen. So it would be like 3 cotton balls stacked on top of each other with little black beads, and I'd be like, I want that one. And so I have like
exactly like that.
I have like 6 of them.
That one.
Like at my family home.
You did say that recently. You were like, I like snowman.
They're just endearing
for Christmas, just randomly.
Yeah,
they're cute.
They have like a carrot nose and a little top hat. Like they're so distinguished. They have a little scarf. They just stand there. Yeah. I don't know, like no one ever looks at a snowman. Like there was like that Christmas horror movie that came out, right, with like the snowman that's like his coal is not like a happy you, it's like an angry you, and he has like twigs for eyebrows and stuff like that.
Which movie are you talking about?
I don't know. I just remember seeing it as a kid. Are you sure that
wasn't just like a nightmare dream or something?
No, I remember being a kid and walking into a Blockbuster. Yeah, I'm that old. Walking to a Blockbuster and like seeing the poster. Oh, Jack Frost. That was it. Thank you.
The evil.
It's like an evil snowman. I don't know what he would do.
I just think of Jack Frost from the Santa Claus.
With what's his name?
Martin Short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This one's from 1997.
1997. Yeah, I never saw it. You weren't born then. I'm not that old.
Yeah, gosh.
I'm that old, but also not that old. Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about the movies we watched, but I want to talk about some of the family traditions that we had growing up, because everybody has different traditions. We'll kind of read some off later, but
you start, because I've been talking a lot.
Okay, I'll start. I mean, there were a few things that we did every year. We always would watch The Polar Express and A Christmas Story.
Is Polar Express creepy?
The CGI?
Yeah, or wait, the
lifeless eyes. Yeah. Have you seen that TikTok or whatever
about
reel?
Mark Zuckerberg?
With like all the animated character, and then it's Mark Zuckerberg with his like dead eyes. Yeah. No, I love that movie. It is weird animation though. I don't really get it, but love that movie. Very quotable. The song, what's the song the girl sings? I wish upon a star.
Yeah.
Love that song. I used to sing that in like July. It's a bop.
Billy's stupid though.
Oh yeah, Billy. You have opinions. What does he say? What's the quote you like?
He's like, my name's Billy. That's my address.
No. I'm not thinking about Billy. I'm thinking of the other kid.
No, you are, because then he's just like,
oh yeah.
Christmas just doesn't work out for me.
Yeah.
Never has.
You love that quote. I don't know why.
Every time I say it just doesn't work out for me, I think of that
doesn't work out for me.
And then there's like the know-it-all kid.
You got to do like the side smirk with it.
Is Billy the only kid with a name?
Hold up. What?
Because they call him the know-it-all kid, but I don't think he actually
there
introduces
is the
himself.
Know-it-all kid, which is the one who's really annoying, obviously.
All I got was a pair of stupid underwear.
Oh my gosh, that was good.
Stupid.
Is that what he's digging in the giant?
Yeah, Santa's
that
knapsack.
Was hilarious.
But the girl, I don't think she has a name. But I know for a fact the boy, he doesn't have a name, because in the credits he's labeled as protagonist, I think.
What? Okay, I feel like there's way deeper meanings to that movie than we think.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and then
you go into the symbolism of it.
Tom Hanks
is like
plays
everyone.
like 7 characters.
I think he's 5 characters.
Okay, I exaggerated.
Santa.
So anyway, then we watched.
Polar
will
Express.
watch. Let me move on. The Christmas Story, which is an iconic movie. Love that movie. Very quotable.
I've only seen it like twice.
Did you watch it with us last year?
No.
I don't think so. Yeah, no, we watch that every year, and yeah, it's so quotable. I'm not gonna try to do any quotes, but yeah.
I don't know if we weren't like allowed to watch it, but we just never did.
Why wouldn't you be allowed to watch it?
Part of me, if you listen to last week's podcast or whenever, I don't know how it's organized, with my dad, and like I don't know if it was just because it's like that dad was close to his dad, like in terms of like personality, but then again, like my dad had a good ending with his dad, so I don't know why that wouldn't have happened. So I don't know. We just never really.
Though. He's kind of funny.
Watched that movie
when he's fighting the dogs. What's the? I always forget the name of the Hendersons. The
Dinglebergs.
No, that is not it. Anyway, he's like has a war with the dogs that come and steal the turkey. Yeah. He's like, you'll shoot your eye out, kid. Anyway, iconic movie. Love that movie. So yeah, we would always watch those movies. Those are the 2 that like we have to watch every year. And then we used to have a Christmas party with all of our friends in the neighborhood, and that was always really fun. And then it was kind of sad when we moved out of my childhood home, because then we didn't have those Christmas parties anymore. So I was like, oh, like we're never gonna have those again. That was like every year probably for like 10 years. Same people, same families would come, and it was just really fun. And then every night my dad would read us The Night Before Christmas, and even into teenage years he had to. It was I know exactly the cadence he says every part of that book. Mm-hmm. So that's like really nostalgic. And then there was one year, and this is like not when I'm a kid, this is when I'm like 18, I think. and he didn't read it to us. And I was like really upset about it. And I told my mom, and I was like, I think I was crying. Like, I was so upset. I was like, how could he do this?
That monster.
Yeah, monster. But, and then he came up with it after, because I was like crying to my mom. And then he like walked up into my room and he came and like read it to me, because my brothers weren't there, I don't think. And so it was like a really cute moment. And so we try to read that every year, and maybe you'll get to witness that.
Maybe he can read it to me. He can tuck me in like a little burrito.
Yeah, little Timmy.
Yeah.
That would be weird. Okay.
Did you ever do the night before Christmas gift swap? I don't know if that's how it's like.
No, I've heard of that, right? It's like every certain
every
word.
time you say so you read everyone, you get like a circle of people, you know, your friends at like your party, and they all have a gift. They describe a gift. And then there's one narrator, and he reads the story, and every time he says, or they say the word you have to pass your gift to the lift. So it'd be the night before Christmas, when all through the house.
Oh my gosh.
Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Oh, tricked you there. I don't know how it goes there.
And then we don't know it.
Yeah.
Arose such a clatter.
Yeah.
That we know from the Santa
Claus.
We know from the
Santa Claus.
We just keep bringing stuff up about that.
1997.
Anyway, and then every Christmas morning, I got to play Santa. I don't know why, but then my family would always get annoyed because I was too slow at getting the gifts or finding the right, like, the gifts for them. Because I played Santa, so I put on the Santa hat we had, which does not fit my head anymore. It's very small. And I go and I find people's gifts and I hand them, and then we do a round of opening, right? So my dad goes, my mom goes, and then we go. And then I have to go again. Well, they always, like, none of them want to be Santa, but then they get mad at me for being too slow getting their gifts. So I'm just like, make up your mind. And then one year I was just like, screw you guys, I'm not Santa this year. And then my brother was Santa.
Was he good?
No, he sucked. Just kidding. I don't know. But yeah.
That was so traumatizing for you. You just blocked it out of your memory.
Yeah. The trauma.
If I'm not Santa, I won't remember it.
I won't. This wasn't Christmas. Anyway, gosh, that was dumb.
Anyway, it's okay. We had better jokes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then we always have tamales. Tamales? Yeah. We have tamales every Christmas with eggs, and
with eggs,
like on the side, not like mixed in, on the side, and salsa and like fruit bowl, fruit salad. Yeah.
Fruit salad's the best kind of salad.
Yeah.
It's everything you want.
We have different opinions about salads.
It's like just juice. It's like eating a bowl of Gushers.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, if it is, then you should have it more. Instead of
Fruit's
those
expensive,
Trader
man.
Joe's gummies we eat all the time.
I don't eat those for breakfast.
What are they called? Scandinavian swimmers.
Yeah, those are good.
They're so good.
Sponsor us, Trader Joe's.
I don't think that will happen. Anyway,
it could.
So I wanted to ask you, are there any like traditional candies or sweets that you have only on Christmas, or you get only on Christmas? For example, I'll give you mine. Sorry. We would always get British treats for Christmas because my dad's from England. So we would get, are Toblerones British?
No.
Okay, well, we would get... No.
Yeah. Switzerland.
Okay, well, we would get Toblerones, which we don't even, like, eat them. Literally, I can't remember the last time I actually ate a Toblerone I got, but we get them every year in our stockings. And then there is this other one that... Oh, shoot, I don't remember the name of it. It's like...
Is it the cookie?
Oh, digestives?
Yeah. Why are they called digestives?
I don't know. They're like
every time you ask me if I want a digestive, I'm like, no, I feel fine. Like, what do you mean? Dinner set well.
They're literally just normal cookies. I don't know. They're British cookies. My dad loves them. There's also some with chocolate on them, which are really good. And he dips them in his tea. And I always like to dip it in his tea and just hold it there until he yells at me and says, take it out. It's gonna drop. And then it drops. And I just laugh. So
worst.
evil. I'm the worst.
The worst.
And then fruit pastels. Those are so good. You can get them at the British store. Mm-hmm. Wherever that is. I don't know. But yeah, what do you get? Do you get anything?
Wait, fruit pastels, are those like cylindrical?
Yeah, they're like little
They're almost like lifesavers.
No, they're not. No. They're hard.
But like they look like lifesavers,
Sure.
like they're little yeah, okay. Okay. I was gonna say they're like lifesavers, but anyways.
Do you have any?
Let's see. So Christmas tradition. So Christmas Eve we'd spend with my dad's family, and that was pretty much just his sisters would like come over for lunch, and then me and my sister would always be like, "Oh, I just wish it was like the end of the night." Like maybe we should take a nap so that like we were those kinds of kids. Like we were good kids. Like our parents probably loved us. Like we should take a nap so that we can get to the end of the day faster. We were smart. We knew how to hack life, how to like time travel. Just take a nap and then you wake up in the future.
Whoa.
It's deep.
Hold up. Just kidding.
And so we did that, and then we would really just fart around for the rest of the afternoon, and then like at sun would set. We didn't really do anything for dinner, but then we would have a family friend come dressed up as Santa Claus. I don't know if I thought it was Santa Claus, but like they would always come, and I remember being freaked out, because they would, he would, he's in his boots and stuff like that, and my parents know that he's coming, so they're
playing along with it.
They're playing along with it. Oh,
what is that?
Oh, Timmy, like, do you hear that? Do you hear someone coming up the driveway?
How old were you at this point?
Like 20. No, like in my single digits. So like
under 10.
6. I mean, this happened every year, right? So it's like
you're like, yeah, it happens every year by that point.
Yeah, but I was always still nervous for some reason. So
like, he's coming,
and he would ring. He had this like big bell, just bing, 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 and I would freak out. I'd be like, "What the heck are we doing? Like Santa's here. We're not asleep. We need to go. We need to go to bed."
You were talking about the video of your siblings.
That's another thing.
Okay,
I'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But it was like a casual Santa. Like we got I don't know, like in my mind we were just so privileged that Santa like came to our house twice. Like I don't know if I thought it was actually Santa or not. But he would also,
you look back and you're like, did I think that was real, or
kids
was
are
I
stupid? Like when you think about it, they're dumb. When they sit on Santa's lap and take a photo with him, do they actually think that's Santa?
Well, that's funny because
for shame.
That's funny because when I was teaching, it's always like weird with kids. Like you don't know if they believe in Santa or not. And most of the kids I teach are like under 12, so I'm like talking about Santa, and it's hit or miss. Like we'll talk about when we found out Santa wasn't real, but you never know. There's some really young kids that are like, he's not real. Like I have a friend who never believed in Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And then there's kids who are like 10 or 12 and they still believe in Santa Claus. And I'm like, okay, how do I deal with this group of kids where there's one 10-year-old who literally legit thinks Santa Claus is real, and then this 6-year-old who's like looking at me like he's not real. So, but they're
this little 6-year-old like, throws you a wink and he's like, you and I are on the inside. Like, we know what's up.
We know it. Yeah. But we were talking about Santa in one of my classes, and I was like, yeah, so like, what do you want from Santa this year? It was like a question of the day. Mm-hmm. What present do you want from Santa? And oh my gosh, well, this whole story. I'm telling like 5 different stories right now. But one of the kids' answers, it was like, everyone said a normal answer. I want a unicorn toy. I want a tech deck. So I have this written board of like 5 or 6 kids, and it's like normal. And then in the middle, this little boy's like, can we bring people back to life? And I was like, you can do whatever you want for Christmas. I'm trying to be a nice teacher. He's like,
most selfless
I want my grandpa to be alive again. And I was like, okay. And it would just like, but he said it without any sadness. And he was just like, I want my grandpa to be alive. And I was like, oh, how do you want me to write that on the board? Because I'm about to write this. And so he's like, just put grandpa alive. So I literally, it's like tech deck, unicorn toy, Grandpa alive, mermaid toy set. And so it was just like and everyone was very casual about it. And I was like, when did he pass away? And he's like, last week. I never met him. And I was like, this is very weird that this kid.
You never met him?
He never met him. I think he lived somewhere else, the grandpa.
Yeah,
anyway, it was like funny but sad, but it made me laugh. And I took a photo of the board because it was kind of funny. But anyways.
Kid was like writing in his diary that night and like, I made the most selfless wish ever, and the teacher laughed at me and took a photo of it.
She took a photo of my grandpa being alive.
You know, because kids write in diaries these days.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, circling back, I was talking about Santa and they were like, I want to see Santa. And then one of the kids was like, just go to the mall. He's there. And I was like, well, he really thinks that that's the real Santa at the mall.
Yeah.
So who knows?
I think when in doubt, you just always got to sell it. You know? Yeah, you just got to be like, no, Santa's real. And the kid, even if the kid knows that he's not real, like there is. If
an adult is saying it, especially a teacher, come on, they're gonna believe it.
Well,
which probably isn't good.
Either
they'll believe anything you say.
Either the kid thinks you're dumb, and then if a kid thinks you're dumb, then that shouldn't faze you. Sorry if it does. It probably would faze me, so I'm also apologizing to my little insecure self. But then it's like, imagine that 10-year-old goes, Mom, Dad, like, Mr. Tim thinks Santa Claus is real. They're not going to be like, loser. They're going to be like, oh, this kid,
Tim's
he's like a quality guy. He believes in lying to kids, so
we're all on the same page.
Yeah, we're all on the same page.
We're spinning this lie together.
So I feel like when in doubt, they're like, I don't believe in Santa. I'm like, what? Yeah, I don't believe in him. I'm like, you're going to get cold. Like, don't say that again. You're going to get cold. I'm not associated with you. Get out of this room. I don't know you. I swear I'm going to deny ever knowing you. Yeah, like when in doubt, you just got to full send Santa train.
Yeah.
Anyways, Santa Claus comes to the house and I sit on his lap, and I don't know if he asks me again what I want for Christmas, because I'm like, Santa, if you're asking me now, it's a little too late. It's like 5 hours before midnight.
You're not going to make it in time,
You're not going to make
it
in time. But then he would like always leave by like throwing like little mini candy canes at us, and like we're just showering in like this sugar. And my parents, and then it's not like my parents are mad about making a mess, because us kids are like, yeah, candy, like we're like making snow angels in it, and it's all like canes. So anyways, they do that, and then my mom would read the story, and I don't know if many people know about it. It's called Jonathan Toomey. There's like something before it, like The Secret Life of Jonathan Toomey. It's not The Secret Life. He's like life. It's about a carpenter. It's about a carpenter who spoiler alert,
is it Jesus?
No.
Oh.
It's a carpenter. Whoa, I've actually never thought about that.
Are
no,
you
he's not a carpenter, he's a whittler. Like he whittles wood.
Okay.
So kind of a carpenter. But anyways, he's a grouch. So he's like the grouch of the town, and it's set.
The Grinch. I'm seeing a lot of different parallels.
It's set in probably like 1900s. Okay. Maybe. So he's like the grouch.
So a Christmas Carol.
Everyone is just like, he's not a nice man. Like he's got like Frau lines, and he just grunts. And then this like happy widow, grunts. And he's a widower, so he lost his. You find out later, but he lost his child and his wife.
Goodness.
And then
so this a dark turn.
So my mom reads it and she cries every year because it is a really sweet story. Basically, long story short, this widow and her son, who's like this really cute, like curious kid, like they essentially soften him down.
The name of the book, what's it called?
Tim. What did I shoot? What is the book called? I just said it.
Tombo.
No. Oh my gosh. No.
Jimmy.
Jim. Oh gosh,
Johnny
this is embarrassing.
Tumbo.
Jonathan Toomey.
Okay.
Jonathan Toomey.
Johnny Tumbo.
Anyways, the like widow and the son kind of essentially soften him up so that he becomes nice again, and like the whole premise is that he is carving a nativity set for this.
Oh, that's cute.
And the son is like, keeps inputting his like, oh, like no, like the way that my Mary, because he's replicating, the son is asking him to replicate like his family nativity set that got lost. He's like, no, my Mary had like loving eyes, like the kind of eyes that a mother looks at her newborn baby. So then you realize, then that's later in the story, but you realize that he uses a photo of his wife looking at his daughter.
Wait, that's actually
it's a really sweet story. Shoot, I'm getting goosebumps about it. Read it. Buy that book. Read it.
Johnny Toombo. Go.
Jonathan Toomey. I don't know if there's like a secret life. It's not secret at all.
Yeah. It kind of is though. Anyway, I'm sensing a lot of things. The Grinch, The Christmas Carol.
There's probably a lot of different elements, or it's just Jonathan Toomey. It's its own thing.
Okay.
Anyways, so we did that. Sorry. End of the night. Then we go to bed. Sometimes this happened once. You know, me and my family, we're all in bed. So if you listen to the podcast with my dad, there's 6 of us. I'm the lowest. So it's
Youngest.
and we usually
The lowest.
I'm the most humble. And so we kind of split it up into older 3 and younger 3, just because that's how the age like gaps kind of fit out naturally. So it was like us younger 3, and then probably also the older 2. So I don't know why I included that fact. We were all like lying in bed. It was dark. My dad's filming.
This is at night?
This is at night. Like,
okay.
We're getting ready for bed. And I'm cuddling, like, with my mom. I'm 4, okay? I'm 4, cuddling with my mom.
This wasn't when I was 20, I swear.
Yeah. And, you know, my other sister is, like, 7. Other sister is, like, 10. And, you know, we're, like, getting ready for bed. And then all of a sudden, we hear this huge clatter, right?
A rose such a clatter.
A rose such a clatter, yeah, on the roof, just boo, and then it kind of stops, and then we just hear like ho ho ho, and like the neighbor's dog is in on it too, like barking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is real. Like Santa's on our roof, the neighbor's dog is barking at him, and so I'm immediately like, if people are watching the video, I'm just like conked out. I'm like I'm like I'm like fabricating drool to like seep out my mouth, and just like asleep and just taking deep breaths. Like I knew the art. Like I would fake getting out of church, you know, as a kid. Like, no, I don't want to go. I'm going to pretend I'm still asleep. Like the deep breaths.
As a 4-year-old.
And then, you know, the other sister, 10-year-old, is also doing the same thing. We're like, you know, I don't know what you call it.
Who's in on this?
No one's in on it. So,
okay.
just my parents.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
and then the other in-between sister, the 7-year-old, she's more, she colors outside the lines in all the best ways. And so she's like, Santa's here. And I'm like, shut up. Like, he's going to find out that we're awake. And so I'm just like, go back to like drooling and stuff like that. It turns out it was like my brother, like,
he was on the roof, right?
He was on the roof, and he like jumped and like.
Was he running across the roof?
Yeah.
That's so cute.
So that happened one year, and that was really fun. That's a core memory.
Oh yeah, that's sweet.
It's a core memory for me. Sorry, we should get into these submissions.
Well, I wanted to tell one story
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like our Christmases are pretty much all the same, but there were 2 Christmases in particular that I remember because they both relate to A Christmas Story, and the movie.
How so?
The movie. Ooh, how so?
Do tell.
So, yeah, like in the movie A Christmas Story, the whole thing is that he wants a Red Ryder BB gun, and the mom or the dad's like, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid." And one year, my brother really wanted a BB gun, and so he kept asking for it. Like it's like the same story. He wanted it so bad, kept asking for it. And so we're at Christmas, and the presents are done. Like we finished all of our gifts, and my brother's really sad because he didn't get the BB gun. And the whole thing in the movie is that
classic. He didn't get it.
And the dad is like sitting on the couch. He's like, "What's that behind the tree, stuck behind there?" And then he goes and he looks, and he finds the BB gun that his dad gave him. So that was the exact scenario that happened with my family, where my dad had put it behind our piano, and my dad's like, "What's this behind here?" And he like pulls it out, and my brother was so excited, and it was exactly like the movie, and we were all like laughing because we knew it was like the movie. So that was one memory. But then a couple years ago, this was like, I don't even know, like 2019 or something, most famous part of that movie, I'd say, is the idea of the lamp, the leg lamp, and the kid like touches the side of it.
Yeah,
what's his name? Oh wait, why can't I remember his name?
Kevin.
No, it is not Kevin.
That's
I should know this. Gosh darn it. Whatever.
I don't
Ronnie. I've watched this movie a million times. Anyway, so they get it. He gets, he wins the major award, and he gets it in this huge wooden crate, and he's getting like, inside the crate and he figures out it's a lamp, and it says like fragile on the side, and he's like, fragile, it must be Italian or something. And so we did the same exact thing. All two of my brothers, we pitched in and we bought this like $200, which is a lot. I feel that's still a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. It felt like a lot back then.
If it's not a lot for you, then feel free to send that not a lot of money to my Venmo.
Then send that over.
It's like Tim dash by. Anyways.
So yeah. Anyways, we got the lamp. It was not as big, but it was pretty big still, probably like half the size of this table.
Yeah.
And it said fragile on the side, and so we end up dropping it Christmas morning at the front door, and my dad brings it and he's like, what is this? And he looks at the side, and we have like a full video of him opening it, and he's like, it's a major award. Like he just knew what to do. And so we have that every year, and it's funny because my mom hates that lamp. She's
Classic,
like,
yeah.
I hate this lamp.
For
it's
the
like
movie.
so ugly. But I don't think she realizes it's like the movie, She just like, she doesn't like it.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's exactly.
She's not playing the part.
No, she's not playing the part. She just literally hates the lamp, but it somehow plays the part.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are some memories. So we have that up every year right in the window for everyone to see. And it's a big lamp. Leg
for all of the forest animals.
Yeah, I know.
See.
I mean, they live in the middle of nowhere, so
yeah.
The bears passing by.
Yeah, the bear
They're
is
like,
ooh, yeah.
Darn it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Smokey Bear's like, ooh, maybe it's getting a little hot.
Stop. I know you're going too far with this. Okay, well, let's look at some of our submissions. Moving on. Thank you to everyone who sent in a submission. We're going to read through some of these. Some of them are pretty long, and then we'll kind of, discuss. I'm going to say the first one. Okay. I cut my arm with a knife trying to open a Nintendo DSi. Now, who could that be?
The same guy who's wearing his Super Mario Santa. That happened to me.
It was you.
I have it where
it.
my spider webs would come out if I was Spider-Man. I think about that sometimes. But yeah, it's that's
such a good way to actually say it. People know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly. The Tobey Maguire, well, I guess Spider-Man, it's all the same. Anyways, so it was Christmas morning. I got a Nintendo DSi, and I'm like, oh yeah, and so I just got a pocket knife too. So I was like, come on, I'm gonna use Santa's gift. So I get the pocket knife, and it's like one of those.
It's like not.
It's like one of those. It was in a Costco package, so it's like the airtight plastic that's like covering it like inch by inch.
That's what your DSi was in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's like I'm, stick it in, and I'm like pulling it, and then it like slips through the plastic and like hits my arm. And my oldest sister like quickly
Did you
just
stab
boom.
your arm? Like it went through or like sliced it?
Oh no, it like sliced it. It didn't like puncture the other side. It probably wasn't that deep because there wasn't like any major injury besides the fact that it just hurt really. Actually, it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt at all, which was crazy.
And that's why you were like, what?
Because it started like bleeding immediately. Sorry. But then my oldest sister just like jumps into mom mode and just like, picks me up, and I'm like,
how old were you?
Crying. I'm not. Probably 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or whenever. I was probably like 11. So she just like she immediately grabs me
from a knife in a.
Oh, who is the most recent person to cut themselves?
Me.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
So she like closes my wound and like takes me to the kitchen. Anyways, when I was talking to my family about what are some good Christmas stories to talk about, that one came up.
All of them.
Like everyone was like, "Oh, you're gonna talk about
for them."
When you like cut your arm," and I was like, "I already submitted that one."
Yeah.
Like, come up with something new. So Anyways.
Okay.
Next one. I'll read it. As a kid, I liked summer sausage, so my family got it for me for Christmas, and still to this day gets me some every year.
What's summer sausage?
I don't know. But the moral of the story, everyone has that gift that is kind of like you just get every year.
Staple every year. Well, that's like Toblerones. Like everyone gets Toblerones in my family.
But eventually you come to depend on it. Like if you don't get it, you're like, what the heck?
It's disappointing.
Yeah, like my family would always do that for toothbrushes. And if I didn't get a toothbrush, I'd be like,
where the heck is my toothbrush?
Where's my toothbrush?
Such a simple thing,
like,
but you're expecting it.
I've been saving all year using the same toothbrush.
Disgusting. Is it a 2-pack at least?
No, it's one. I'm embarrassed to say that I don't think I'm joking. Oh. Those are huge.
That is...
They're like... They're,
okay, that looks good. I don't even know.
Of,
how do you use that? On a charcuterie board?
I'm envisioning a cartoon that like they cut meat, you know, and it just like plops down.
I can see it.
Is that?
It's like.
Yeah, it's like classic charcuterie, really
sausage.
thick salami.
Okay, summer sausage. We get it.
But yeah, those annual gifts are, even though they're like silly, they're crucial.
They are crucial.
You don't want to not have
Toblerones.
them. You think that you don't want them, but you want them.
I expect it.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. My dad wraps all his gifts in newspaper after we have all gone to bed. Newspaper. Okay, well, we have been wrapping our gifts in Trader Joe's bags, and it actually looks really cool because the Trader Joe's bags has the little white snow or the house
on it. Yeah.
So if you place it properly, it'll be like a house on a cute little like brown bag,
win
or
the aesthetic award.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's aesthetic.
Like it seems janky, but if you receive a gift that's in Trader Joe's packaging, everyone's like, "Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
Why didn't I think of that?"
It's free wrapping paper.
Yeah.
Do you pay for the bags at Trader Joe's?
Yep. So
like
it's
10 cents.
Yeah.
But still, they double bag every time. Oh, are you getting ready to read the next one?
Yeah, this is the next one. This is a long one, so hang in there. Every Christmas, my grandma makes a cinnamon bundt cake, and it was my dad's favorite tradition for Christmas morning. We weren't allowed to even look at the presents until he got his coffee and his cinnamon roll. The first Christmas after he passed away, my mom wanted to keep the tradition going, so she made the cinnamon roll for us to have in the morning. When she went to get it out of the oven, it was burnt to a crisp. We all laughed and said, "Dad doesn't want us to have the cinnamon roll without him."
Aww.
It made the first Christmas without him a little easier to think he was there messing with us.
Aww.
That's really sweet.
That's really sweet. That's cute. I feel like that, well, this isn't super related, but my parents also don't let us start presents without coffee. They're like, we need coffee. And that when we were younger, we were like, hurry up. But now when we're older, we want coffee too. So we're waiting for the coffee.
Yeah, it's kind of both.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Cinnamon rolls.
Because I feel like especially for like those crucial holidays, that's like already
so
difficult.
Hard when you when you don't have someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's good.
There's those little things
and it's good that you like interpreted it that way as opposed to like, come on, Mom, like this is supposed to be like a sweet thing, like, and you burned it, you know. It's like, it's good. No, it should, because that is how it should be. Like, you know, you shouldn't take life that seriously. So anyways, but yeah, no, we did the same thing. I feel like we'd always wake up at 7, like you sit down, we eat breakfast.
Oh, you ate breakfast before?
Yeah. My parents instilled patience within us. Yeah, they instilled that self-control.
Dang.
Now.
That sucks.
And then you'd have to eat all the breakfast, then you open your stockings, and then you go get your big gifts. But you have to wait. Thanks. Like, and you know, you're not asking like, Mom, can we go open the gifts now? Because then it's like, no, we're enjoying family time. And you're like, great, yeah, I'm a heathen. Like I don't like family time. I don't. I want to open my Nintendo Wii game, my Nintendo DSi game that I just stabbed myself for. Yeah, that's a great story though.
Okay, next one. Wait, am I on the right one here?
I remember every year.
Yeah. I remember every year my mom dressing my siblings and I in our Christmas finest, complete with our hair perfectly coiffed in buns and bows on top of our heads, and white furry muffs for our hands to go stand in line to see the Santa at the Bullock's department store. One by one, we would sit on his lap and let him know that we had been good children and tell him what we wanted for Christmas. Then the 4 of us would pose with Santa for an annual picture, often with one of the younger kids crying with overwhelm. As we left, his helper elf would give us candy or a little trinket to take home, and we would feel hopeful that we might just get the thing we wanted after all.
That's sweet. You see, we never did that. I never took a photo with Santa.
I had that one I
think
posted.
I did, but I was a kid.
Of me crying.
Yeah, that's a classic.
We'll definitely post our Christmas photos when we do this episode.
It is funny that kids are so... I mean, it makes sense that they're overwhelmed, but it's kind of funny.
Why do they always cry? Like, Santa's not scary.
Yeah.
He's like a big, burly man. Like, I don't know, he's like a teddy bear.
Right.
Why would people be scared?
Because he smells like cheese.
Probably.
From the elf.
You reek of cheese. Beef and cheese, I think he says.
Which is just saying you smell like a charcuterie board.
Yeah, I love charcuterie boards.
Right.
So that sounds great.
Well, yeah, he was probably with all the ladies. That Santa was with the ladies.
What? Okay, moving on.
Growing up, Christmas was magical in our home. My mother always picked out a perfectly shaped silver-tipped fir tree, had it lightly flicked and decorated from top to bottom with hundreds of white lights, ornate glass balls containing manger scenes or angels, and fancy gold ornaments. Long glass icicles would finish the final effect, creating a stunning display of opulence. Wow. But this was not the only tree we had. Each of our shared bedrooms hosted a small tree personally decked out for us. The one for my sister and me was white and had orange twist on lights and fanciful ornaments that had fluff on them. My brother and little sister's tree was green with white lights, Christmas plaid ribbon, and assorted teddy bears. Wow. We had one of those. Growing up, we had a little... It was a little tree. So it was like a little tree on top of almost like a dresser that was in like a hexagonal shape. Okay. And on each side there was like 6 drawers. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of like an advent calendar that on like December 1st you pull out the first drawer and then you decorate whatever mini ornament is there on that tree.
I get it.
And it's really nostalgic to me for whatever reason. Well, because there was like a blue train and I really like that one, or a little airplane, and there's just something about those like little toys that are just like so cute, and you're like so cute, and as a little boy you're like, yeah, it's a little tiny airplane, I can put it in my pocket and put it on the tree,
put it in my pocket and put it on the tree.
Yeah. So
I feel like there are people who, like I said earlier, it's either a random assortment of ornaments, ours are just like super random, like sloths, and then angel things and
a snowman.
There's like a pufferfish one we have that opens.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know, very random ones. And then there are people who like the aesthetic,
yeah, it's all like
the
only
ribbons
silver
throughout with the ornaments,
yeah,
gold, silver, white, red,
white Christmas lights.
I don't like the white Christmas look, like only the tree, only like silver, white, maybe gold, and then gold or white ribbon. Yeah, I don't like that look. I think it looks more homey and like just
more family
casual. It's not like this fancy perfect
thing. There's like and there's a story. So another thing too, that my oldest sister, one of their traditions, and she kind of imparted it to us too when we got married, was every year you put a photo of like essentially your family that
at
year.
The moment,
so last year the photo is of Leah and I at her bridal shower.
Oh yeah,
and
was it?
And it's like sweet because we have
that was the year of engagement.
The year of engagement.
This is like the first year married.
Yeah, and so 10 years from now.
And then we can have our kitties.
We can have our kitties in it this year. But like 10 years from now,
dress them up.
When our kid is like 6 or 7.
How many years?
10.
Okay. Cool.
Sorry, 5 or 4.
That doesn't even make sense. 6 or 7.
So when they're like 4 or 5 years old and they're looking at it, they'll see us like young.
Yeah, throughout the years.
Throughout the years, and so it's just
that's a good tradition I think to have. And then like your sister who told us about this, she has 5 kids, so it was throughout it was just her and Kirk, and then it was
Now
maybe
Seth.
her pregnant, and then it was her with her first, and then it just like grew. So that's cool to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, next one.
Is this me or you?
I think this is me. You did that. Wait. Yes. Okay, this one's kind of long. As kids, we woke up every Christmas morning to find a note written to us by Santa. In the letter, he would tell us how we had been helpful and what we hoped the next year would hold for us. At the end of the note, there was a square of wrapping paper corresponding to each person in the family. It was our code to know which present under the tree was ours. The tree was piled high with colorful presents, and we would race to find which ones were ours. Santa was always very fair, making sure we each received one book, one article of clothing, and a couple of smaller toys or games or puzzles, and a big toy. After I got married, my husband and I decided to keep this Christmas tradition going with an insightful letter from Santa, who was acting as an ambassador for Jesus, and color-coded presents. We didn't have all the funds that we wanted to get lots of fancy presents, so some of the gifts under the I can't speak. The gifts under our tree included special food treats that the kids might not normally have, like that box of Captain Crunch or marshmallows or a bottle of ketchup for the child who loved it so much. That's funny.
Yeah,
the bottle of ketchup. It's like that kid who's like, an avocado. Thanks.
Yeah.
But it's a bottle of ketchup.
Yeah. So, yeah, spoiler, that was a sibling of mine, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did that.
Oh, they do, your parents do that?
Yeah, so that's sweet. Like, I feel like I was getting a little
Chelsea.
emotional as she was saying it. Yeah. Yeah, so they read this letter, and it's to every person. And so we did it one year, and we were all like devastated.
There's one letter that's to everyone, and then at the bottom it has your clipping of the
it's like
wrapping
3
paper.
or 4 pages
That's
long.
a good idea.
Yeah, and
especially if you have a lot of kids, like not writing their name, trying to find that, just having one wrapping paper for each kid.
Well, and it's great because we would always film it too. So I'm sure we have like a compilation out there of every Santa letter, but it essentially is kind of like a year in review, because, you know, it would be like, Tim, like this year, like you starred
a year review.
Yeah, it was like you
like
starred as Bert and Mary Poppins, and you
just
hit
had
a
to put
home
that in
run,
here, didn't you?
And
just had to say that.
And you got
hit
your
a home
first
run.
car, and you went to Israel and stuff like that. Like,
gosh.
wow. And it just like, it edified you, you know, and it also just kind of made you, every kid, you know, they're all like eagerly waiting, but then the camera gets on them and we're like, like,
yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, no big deal.
I did that. Like, oh yeah. Oh, you saw that, Santa? Wow. Thanks. You know, but it never talked about, and then it would always end like, remember to like support like your youngest sibling and you know,
good
stuff like
message at
that,
the
and
end.
continue to be a good helper for your mom and your dad.
That's cute. Who was the one who liked ketchup?
Jordan. He loves, I don't know if he still loves it, but he would always put like ketchup on everything. Here comes the funny things about Jordan. He would be like, or maybe this was me, but he would put he'd dip ketchup in carrots. Or carrots and ketchup, and
that's not
chicken nuggets in ketchup.
Well, that's normal.
And ketchup on macaroni and cheese. Like, Jordan loved ketchup.
Some people are like that, though.
Mine was always Doritos or Goldfish. That was my food item we got every year.
Oh, I thought you meant dipping them in ketchup.
Oh, no. No, when going to like the food Doritos. Item was, mine was Doritos. I don't remember what other people was. Jordan's, it was ketchup or Teddy Grahams.
Mine would be Cheez-Its. Okay,
Cheez-Its,
you're next.
So when I was young, I had a big family, and there was 8 of us, and my dad belonged/worked for a company that every year the company would put on these huge Christmas parties, and all the families came. It wasn't just the employee and the kids that came, but we also went to see the Marionette and Hollywood, and if you are missing your 2 front teeth, you would go on stage and they would sing that song. Santa would come and they would give you presents, and you would have this amazing meal, and it was just so family oriented. And they don't do things like this anymore, but it's a really good, lovely memory that this person has.
Aw. Yeah, that's true. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe we just don't think that because we don't, like, we're not young anymore with our families who were intentional about taking us to those types of things. Because now we don't go do that stuff, like go to the tree lighting or go to a Christmas event. Maybe we'll go look at Christmas lights, but
I also just feel like things like just the whole idea of like gifts and stuff is just kind of, it's everywhere now. Like you get people gifts for like everything, or you buy your kid a gift for everything. And not saying that we shouldn't do that, but like I feel like the kind of hype around Christmas for kids back then was like, wow, look at all the toys.
I never get these toys like
These
you don't get
crazy.
that throughout the year, but nowadays it's like kids
toys
are
are
getting
so
toys
marketable,
easy
and
to get
cheap,
them on
and
Amazon,
they break
boom.
instantly, and then you buy another one, so
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like the hype
Christmas
of it.
was the one time a year you got new toys for the rest of the year. Now it's like
Right.
I could just order one on Amazon and boom.
Oh
here.
man, those were the good old days.
Those were the good old days. Wow, good job, good plug.
See that was good.
Okay, next one. So working at an underprivileged school, the Dream Center was just up the street, and for the longest time they were separate from our school. And then one day, Pastor Matthew just walked over to our school and he said, "I feel ashamed that I haven't done anything for your school when you're right down the street, and so many of our families come to your school." So he said, "I want to do something to help your school." So every week he would send volunteers, and those peak volunteers came from all over the world actually, and they would come on a Thursday and a Friday, and they would do whatever we asked. They'd clean, sweep, reorganize books. They do whatever we asked to do, and then they did it with no questions. They were just so sweet with
Just served with a helping heart.
Yeah, they served with a helping heart. So they'd come do that every week. And then it was coming toward Christmas time or Thanksgiving. He also organized this thing path, Pastor Matthew, where every Thursday he would come. Someone would come with fresh produce, and families who wanted fresh produce would come and get it, and they could give bags away, fresh produce to our families. And then Thanksgiving came. I'm sorry, the way that this is worded, okay. I can't understand.
Keep going.
He provided Thanksgiving meals for everyone, and then Christmas came. I couldn't believe how generous he was. And then Christmas came. Why does this say Christmas came? Somebody, am I rereading the same line?
No, you're not.
Okay, I gotta read through this some more. Wait.
And he said, "I want to do something for your kids."
And then which we've heard. He wrapped presents for every single child in the school, and they weren't little gifts, they were huge, like remote control trucks, Barbie stuff. It was insane how much he gave away. And then he had some of his teachers come to the church on Sunday, and he preached. You know when when we were in the audience and then we didn't know he was going to do this, then he called us up and he made us get on stage, which was embarrassing. But he got us up on stage and he said, "These are the people that your offering is going to. Pass the tray," and all the money was donated to our school. Okay, I get the gist of it.
Yeah.
And then Christmas came a lot.
That was great. I
yeah.
enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sweet message. They donated all the money to the school. That's really sweet.
Yeah, I feel, and I think that does probably still happen to an extent, But I think kind of the charm of Christmas, like, isn't done so much anymore. Whether it's because or maybe like the idea of Christmas has just kind of changed a little bit to become more holiday focused than Christmas focused. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that part of the like nostalgia of Christmas kind of comes from that original like excitement, as opposed to your parents doing it. It's like you're putting all your hopes and wishes on like this unknown person who's all good, and you need to be good for and stuff like that. So there's kind of like a lot of hype around like the idea of it. When it comes just about your parents, like, I know my parents, like, they'll get me this, and if they don't, then they're the person I'm mad at, as opposed to like Santa,
Yeah.
So I think there's probably aspects about that, but that is a good story.
Ooh, the next one's
I'll
yours. Not yours, but
you
know it.
Yes. During our engagement, Mom and I heard a sermon encouraging people to develop their own personal traditions to foster family bonds. So we came up with December Day on the first Saturday of December. I would make a big breakfast and Mom would get out the Christmas decorations and we would decorate for the season. 4 years later, when Sherry's folks showed up at our house for December Day breakfast, we came running out to the car, passing them saying, "Watch, Chelsea, we are on the way to the hospital." Jordan, who was due to be born December 15th, came early on December Day.
So literally on December Day, they were like, "We gotta get to the hospital."
Yeah. So my brother's birthday is December 1st. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they were going to do that.
He was due on the 15th, but he came on December 1st.
Right.
And so they literally like, watch the kid.
Yeah.
Gotta go have another child real quick.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we could have been born on the same day because he was early and I was late. Pretty crazy.
Wait, what? Oh, because you were
born early and I was born late, so we both
January
could have been
1st.
born on December 15th. Yeah,
that would.
We have a lot of firsts in my family. I think Chelsea's September 1st, Jordan's December 1st, I'm January 1st.
Dang.
And then the rest are like stupid
whatever.
days.
Dumb days. Okay, next one. This one's a good one. We were celebrating extended family Christmas one year at Brian and Pam's house in Orange County. As I remember, while opening presents, tissue paper landed on the dining table and caught fire with the candles that were on the table. Their very dry Christmas tree adjacent to the table became the immediate concern. Embers from the tissue paper started flying and a large ember landed on the floor. Sherry, Tim's mom, 8.5 months pregnant with Tim, was under the table trying to put out the embers when more paper on the table above her caught fire. I ripped my shirt off. I know, ridiculously dramatic, and started putting out the flames on the table. Thankfully, no one was hurt and everyone laughed at me and Mom. Check with Sherry on her version of the story.
Yeah,
we'll ask her because we're literally gonna talk to her.
Yeah.
But dang, 8.5 months pregnant, trying to put out a fire.
Yeah,
your dad rips off his shirt.
Well, everyone talks about it. I feel like there's not a Christmas that goes by that like one of the older family members are like, "Yeah, Matt, you gonna take your shirt off this year?"
Let's start a fire. And we're like,
"No, Dad, don't.
Please, Dad.
Please don't take your shirt off." Yeah, but honestly, I wouldn't think to do that. I'd be like, get me a towel. I wouldn't be like, let me take my shirt off.
Yeah.
Like, that just goes to the olden day mindset.
Olden day? How's that olden day?
It's like
anyone
gentlemen,
would do that.
You know, it's like take my coat off and put it over a puddle so this lady can just
take my shirt off and put out a fire.
Yeah,
nowadays. Same exact thing.
Yeah. Yeah, nowadays it's just like, it'll fix itself.
There you go. Last one.
Yes. When I was a kid, I lived with my grandma, so every Christmas we got to play with all the cool Christmas decorations she had saved up from throughout the years. There was a decoration she had that was Santa legs dangling from a chimney, and when you pressed a button, the chimney would shake and Santa would say, "Hey, can you help me get out of here?" While you could see the funny little legs moving back and forth. He would say that while you could see the funny legs moving back and forth. I would play with this toy every day, and as I got older, it started to not work as well as toys do when they get used every day. Now, I still go back to my grandma's house for Christmas and play with that same toy almost 17 years later, and it still brings me the same joy and takes me back to simpler time.
Oh, yeah, that's cute. We have a toy that's a Santa, and he like shakes his hips. And he does jingle bell, jing. And you can move his arms, and he has like a Coca-Cola in one hand. And so we'll put his hands like on his head. So when he like shakes his hips, it looks funny.
Yeah, my dad loves he calls them noisy toys. I don't know if that's like
what is up with the names your dad?
The canon name. Yeah, I won't go into some of the names that my dad has for things he collects because some of them are funny. But he would always collect these noisy toys, and my mom hates them. And he was allowed, because he wanted them like all over the house. And there was like dancing snowmen or like, deck the halls with boughs of holly. And then there's another one with Santa like in a hot tub like singing. And then there's another one with these like dogs singing I Saw Mama Kissing Santa Claus. Like all these like
I
literally
love those toys.
over
I think they're cute.
30 toys that sing. And
have
then,
you ever played them at the
kids,
same time?
That's what I'm saying. All my nieces and nephews now, like they're like, watch how many I can press all at the same time. So bam, 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 bam. So it just is like this chorus of like 20 different Christmas songs, and my mom's losing her mind. And she's like, okay, you can only have like 5 toys at a time out. And my dad is like, what? But I like have all these toys.
But.
And she's like, no buts. So yeah, we would do that because my family would host a Christmas party on December 25th. And that had like, that's when we would do like the night before Christmas gift exchange. And so all of my like cousins would come and play with those things. Here's a question. I don't think this is a common thing. This is just something my mom told us. So you know those illuminescent plastic like 17th century like Christmas villages,
oh,
right?
Yeah. We have a village.
Right.
I loved the village.
Did your mom tell you not to touch the like sparkly fluorescents because it was poisonous?
No.
Okay, then it was just my mom. Me and my sister.
Because you guys would just break them. You got to make things up as a parent. We weren't
that crazy. Well, yeah, she would just, no, but me and this is the same sister who also pretended to be asleep with me when like Santa came, you know, the type A's or whatever. And we would just be like, we can't touch that. And we'd see another kid touching. We're like, what are you doing? That's poisonous. Like, don't touch the little lights on that Christmas village. And then I remember I touched it once and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And then I was like, Mom, I touched it. And she was like, just wash your hands. It's fine. I was like, but I think I like picked my nose like after I did that too.
I feel really weird right now.
I'm starting to feel it. I'm seeing the light, Mom. And she's like, just wash your hands. You're fine. I don't know why I didn't catch on then that I was like, I think she's lying. Yeah. You know. Yeah.
Well, we have a lot of Christmas memories.
Yeah.
And there's probably so many. I mean, even just ours, I feel like there's more I could think of, but we don't have enough time for all that.
Well, yeah, and especially if we do this in the Christmas 2024. I
know. We'll see, man. If I feel
anything
like
happens,
people will send in more.
Yeah, if anything exciting happens on December 24th or 5th this year, write it down for next year.
Okay. Yeah, we need to.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All you listeners out there.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I was like,
no,
okay,
no, I'm talking to the masses.
For the listeners.
Okay. Not that many.
Okay, well, thank you for listening. Thanks for coming, Tim.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, maybe you'll be on another. I don't know.
The biggest fan. The next time you'll see me, I'll probably have a sweater that says "The Good Old Days."
Oh yeah,
The Good Old Days merch.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, have a good Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
And Happy New Year.
What is the line? May your merry days
be merry.
Be merry. Happy holidays to you.
That wasn't it. Okay. Bye.
Bye.